Hello, welcome to another tutorial. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you on how to cut and sew a perfect princess dart bustier. I'll also be sharing some tips with you as to get the perfect bustier. So if this is what you're interested in, you want to continue watching this video, click on the like button, subscribe to this channel and turn on your notifications so that you get notified each time I upload a new video. So to start, you are going to draw a straight line at the tip of your pattern paper, and this is going to be serve as your starting line. So from this starting line now, you place your tape and you are going to be measuring your bust point. So I'm going to measure it on both sides also so that I can get a straight line. So after measuring your bust point, the next thing to measure is your under bust. And after your under bust, you are going to be measuring your half length. So my half length is 14 and a half, and after this you are going to be measuring your blouse length. So now I'm going to be marking this on both sides also so that I can get a straight line. So after marking this, then you get your ruler and then you are going to be connecting this point in a straight line. So this is the bust point, this is the under bust, this is the half length, which is also the waistline, and this is the blouse length. So let's go ahead and label these lines: bust point, under bust, waistline, and then the blouse length line. So now you are going to come to this starting line and you are going to place your tape like this. So you are going to be marking 3 inches by 3 inches for your neck measurement. So now you are going to get your curve and then you place it this way and connect it from one point to the other. Then you are going to bring your tape to the starting line again, and this time you are going to be taking your shoulder measurement. So you are going to divide your shoulder measurement into 2. So mine, after dividing into 2, gives me 6 3/4. Then at this point now you are going to come down by 1 inch and then you are going to be connecting it towards the neckline. Then from the shoulder slope you are going to be getting your armhole length. So to get this, you are going to divide your bust measurement by 6 and then you are going to add 1.5 to it. So after dividing mine and adding 1.5, I have 7 1/4. So at this point now I'm going to draw a line across it, and this is going to be my chest line. Then connect from your shoulder slope to the chest line, and this is your armhole length. The next thing you are going to do now is to get the middle line of your armhole line. So now place your tape like this and then fold it into 2 so that you can get the middle line. So now at this middle point now you are going to go in by 1/2 inch, and then on your chest line you are going to be dividing your bust measurement into 4. So my bust measurement is 34 divided by 4, I have 8.5. And now you are going to be connecting these 3 points together with your curve. So place your curve in such a way that it's going to capture the 3 points, and then you connect it together, and this will be your armhole. So after marking this now, the next thing is to place your dart. So you are going to come to the bust point and then you are going to be dividing your nipple to nipple measurement into 2. So mine is 6 inches divided by 2, I have 3 inches. So I'm going to mark 3 inches on my bust point. I'm going to mark it on my under bust, on my waistline, as well as my blouse length. Then I'm going to be connecting these points together in a straight line. So the next thing to do is to come to your under bust line. So at this inner one here, the one closer to the center, then you are going to be taking 1/2 inch here. Then you are going to take the same 1/2 inch on the waistline and also at the blouse length line. Then you are going to connect this point together in a straight line, just like I am doing here. Then on the other side here, you are going to be taking 1.5 inches as your dart. So you are going to take it as your under bust on your waistline and also at the blouse length line, and you are also going to connect it together in a straight line. So the next thing to do is to connect from your under bust to your bust point, but you are not going to connect directly to your bust point. You are going to come down by 1 inch. So now you are going to get your ruler and connect from this 1/2 inch here at your under bust to the 1 inch that you came down by. So now you are going to be doing the same thing to this second side also, but this time you are going to be using your curve. So you are going to connect from your under bust to that 1 inch also with your curve. So now the next thing to do is to connect from your bust point to the middle of your armhole. So you're also going to be using your curve for this. So place your curve on your bust point and connect it to the middle of your armhole. So you're just going to place it like this and then you connect it together. So now that you've connected this, next thing to do is to take your armhole dart. So from this armhole now, this center part, I'm going to be coming down by 1 inch. So you can decide to come down by 1.5 inch if you are more busty, 1.5 or 2 inches depending on how busty you are. So my bust is just 34 inches, so 1 inch is okay for me. So that is tip number 1. You can come by 1.5 or 1 inch depending on how busty you are. So now you are going to come down, connect from this 1 inch now to the bust point. So I'm going to connect it like this. So this 1 inch here, we are going to be cutting it out. So by the time we cut this out, it's going to affect the length of the armhole. So that to replace that, we are going to be extending this lower line. The lower line here, we are going to be extending it by this 1 inch that we mark for the dart. So now you are going to place your tape like this and then mark exactly 1 inch. And if you should take 1.5, you are going to mark exactly 1.5. And if you are taking 2 inches for your dart there, for your armhole, you are also going to be marking 2 inches. So now connect it like this. Then you are going to be reconnecting your armhole with your curve like this. Just see the way I am placing it. Just bring it down this way, and that is all. So after taking your dart now, the next thing is to take your side measurement. So on your chest line, you are going to be dividing your bust measurement into 4 again. So mine divided by 4 is 8.5. So you're going to mark it here. You already have it marked there. So you can see that we have a dart here on the chest line. So I have cut the 1/4 inch is what that is. So I'm going to place it back, and then I'm going to be adding 2 inches for the same allowance. Then you come down to your under bust line. Then you divide your under bust into 4. So my under bust is 27 divided by 4. I have 6 3/4. Then I will mark the dart allowance I have here, which is 2 inches, and place it back. After that, then you add 2 inches same allowance. Then you come to your waistline and divide your waist measurement into 4. My waist measurement is 26 divided by 4. I have 6.5. Then you will mark the dart allowance on your waistline. This is 2 inches. I'll place it back, and then you'll be adding 2 inches same allowance. Then you come to your blouse length and divide your hip measurement into 4. Then you mark the dart allowance that you have here and place it back. Then you are going to be adding 2 inches same allowance. The next thing now is to connect from your chest line to your under bust, your waistline, and then to your blouse length. So I'll just connect it this way. So you can go ahead to cut this out. So take note of where I'm cutting. What I basically did is to cut out the darts. So make sure that you are not cutting where you are not supposed to cut. So this is the front part. Now we are going to be drafting the back part. So this is the starting line for the back part, and the first thing I'm going to be doing now is to mark 1.5 inch as the zipper allowance. So mark 1.5 inch all the way down for the zipper allowance and connect this together in a straight line. So after doing this, you are going to place your tape on the starting line, and then you are going to be taking your bust point measurement, your under bust measurement, your half length measurement, and your blouse length measurement. Then you are going to be taking it on other side, on both sides also, so that you can get a straight line. So after doing this, I'll connect them together with my ruler. So this is the bust point, the under bust, the waistline, and this is the blouse length line, and I'll go ahead to label them accordingly. So after doing this, you are going to come to the starting line here, and you are going to be taking your neck measurement. So on the side here, you take 3 inches, just like you did for the front, and then you can decide to come down by 1 inch if you don't want your neck to be low. But as for me, I want my neckline to be loose, so I'm going to be going down by 6 inches. Now I'm going to use my cuff to connect this together, and then I'm going to extend it into the zipper allowance. Then I'll come to the starting line again, and then this time mark the shoulder measurement. So did you take note that I'm not putting my tape into the zipper allowance? So whenever you are taking your side measurement, just make sure you are starting from this line and you are not going into the zipper allowance. So now divide your shoulder measurement by 2. After doing that, come down by 1 inch and connect it towards the neckline, just like you did for the front. And then you are going to be getting your armhole depth. So just use exactly the armhole depth that you use for the front, or you can still divide your bust measurement by 6 and add 1.5. It's still the same thing. Then mark that as your chest line, and then connect from the shoulder slope to the chest line. And you're also going to be locating the middle of this your armhole length. So fold your tape into 2 like this to locate the middle. But this time you're not going to be going in by half of an inch. You're just going to locate the middle and leave it like that. Then you come to your chest line and divide your bust measurement into 4. And this time you now connect from the middle of your armhole to your bust measurement, just like this. This is all you need to do for the armhole of the back. So after doing this, you are going to be placing your dart. So you come to your waistline and then divide your nipple to nipple measurement into 2. So mine is 6 inches divided by 2 is 3 inches. So you are going to mark it on your waistline, on the chest line, and also on the blouse length line. And then you connect these points together in a straight line. After this, you come to the waistline and then take half of an inch on both sides for the darts. So now you are going to get your ruler now and connect from the waistline towards your chest line like this. See the way I place the ruler? And you're also going to connect from your waistline towards your blouse length like this also. Just follow the way I place the ruler. And you are going to be doing the same thing to the second side. So whenever I'm making a princess dart bustier, so what I do, I like the back part to also, the dart for the back to also be in the form of a princess dart. So what I'm going to do now is to connect from my bust point to the middle of the armhole. So I'm going to be using my curve to do this. So if I should connect from the middle of my armhole to my chest line, it's going to be having some angle. So that's why I like to connect from the bust point to the middle of the armhole. So this is what we are going to have for the back dart. You can see that it's already looking lovely. So the next thing to do now is to take your side measurement. So now place your tape on your chest line and take your bust measurement. So you divide your bust measurement into 4, just like you did earlier. Then you mark it there, and this time you are going to be adding 2 inches seam allowance. Then you go to your waistline. So this is tip number 2. Don't take any measurement on your under bust. Go straight to your waistline. So divide your waist measurement into 4. And then you mark what you have as your dart intake there, place it back, and then you add 2 inches seam allowance. Then you are going to come to your blouse length and then divide your hip measurement into 4 and then add 2 inches seam allowance, and then you are going to be connecting these lines together. So if you did not mark your anything on your under bust, it's going to make your front and back measurement to align by the time you are stitching your dress together. So one part will not be shorter than the other. So that is the hint there. So on this waistline now, I'm going to extend it into the zipper allowance, and I'm going to be coming in by half of an inch. So this half of an inch is to take away any zip bulge that we might experience. So I'm going to connect it upward like this. Just connect it towards the chest line, and this one connect it downwards towards the blouse length line. So that is just it. It's going to take away the zip bulge. So now go ahead and cut this out. So this is what the back parts look like. And now this is the fabric I'm going to be using for this tutorial. So I have 1 yard and maybe 1/4 of an inch here. So this is the front part. I already cut it out on my pattern. So what I did is to add half of an inch on the inner part and the lower part, and then I added half of an inch on the shoulder part also. So now at this under bust, this is tip number 3. At the center front, this under bust, it is important that you notch it, because this is going to help you to place your wording, that's your pad, and also to fix it appropriately. So this is the back part. I added half of an inch on the inner part, lower part, and also at the shoulder part. So this is the front part. I've gone ahead to add my wording, so you can see it is that point that I notched, that is where I stopped. And on the side here, I just came out, I make sure that the wording is about 5 inches, such that just make sure that it's about 3 inches away from the side. Then from the shoulder, I make sure that it comes down about 6 inches. So this is going to really give you a nice sewing. So the next tip is to make sure that you use a thick wording. So when you use a thick wording, it's going to really make your bustier come out very well. So now what I'm going to be joining this is I'm going to join it from the lower part to the under bust. So I'm going to really make sure that the under bust align where I notch, and the other under bust in the second part, I'll make sure that they align. So that's how my bustier is going to come out well. So this is the back part. I'm going to place the right side on the right side, and then I'll stitch it from the down upward also, and I'll be doing the same thing to the second part and the lining. So this is the front part. You can see how our bustier is already coming out well. So what I did is to turn it to the wrong side this way. I open up the stitch, and then I steam iron it. So what I used to iron it is I use my bust arm, and I also did the same thing to the lining. So I'm going to be showing you the bust arm that I use to iron, to open up the stitch and then iron it flat. So this is the bust arm that I use. I handmade this. You can also do that, or use any one that you have. Just make sure that you use a bust arm to iron the bust area. So now I'm going to be stitching the neck together. I'm going to stitch it by half of an inch. So when I'm done, I'm going to open it up this way and top stitch on it. So go ahead and pin the neck around, so that it's going to be easier for you to stitch. So now I'm going to be stitching it around by half of an inch. So I'm done stitching it. I'll just go ahead and notch it all around so that the neck can relax. And now I'm going to flip it open and make sure that the stitching allowance is facing the lining area. And now I'm going to be stitching very close to the lining, and that is what top stitching is. So the essence of it is for the neck to relax, and I'm already done top stitching this. So next thing now is to flip it to the wrong side so that I can stitch the lower part and the sides. So I'm going to go ahead now and stitch the lower part, and then I'm going to be stitching the two sides also. So this is the back part. I'm going to be placing the lining on it. I'm going to make sure that the right side is facing the right side, and I'll be stitching on the wrong side. So I'm going to stitch the neck, the lower part, and the sides, and I'll be doing the same thing to the second part. So I'm already done stitching both sides. So the next thing now is to fix the zipper to the back. So this part, which is the zipper part, I'm going to be fixing the zipper using 1 inch, exactly 1 inch all the way down, and I'm really going to follow that 1 inch so that the zip can relax and it can remove all the zip bulge. So now I'm done fixing the zipper. The next thing now is to join the shoulders together. So I'm going to place it on each shoulder like this, and that of the lining of the back, I'm going to flip it around to meet that of the front, and then I'm going to be pinning this together, and I'll be stitching it by half of an inch. So to make it easier for you, pin it together before you stitch, and then I'm going to be doing the same thing to the second side. So I'm already done doing that, and after you stitch the shoulder down, then you are going to be top stitching on the armhole, and I've already done that. So the next thing to do now is to flip this blouse to the wrong side. You can see the way I'm pushing out the bustier part, so that it's going to be easy for me to measure it out. So when you put it out this way, it's going to align on the sides. So as you can see that one is not shorter than the other, the front and the back part is aligning very well. So make sure that for the back part, you did not take your underbust measurements. Just take your underbust measurements only for the front. So this way is going to align and one is not going to be shorter than the other. So on the chest line now, I'm going to be dividing my bust measurement into two. So divide your bust measurement into two. What you have left there, divide it into two on your tape and take it on both sides. I hope you understand what I mean. So next thing is to go to your under bust measurement, under bust, and then you divide your under bust measurement into two. So mine is 26 and a half. Divide by 2, that is what it gives me, and I measured what I have left here. Then I'm dividing it into 2 with my tape. So what it gives me, I'm going to be taking it on each side of my under bust. So make sure you are really taking the measurements on your under bust. The next thing is to go to your waistline. So if you're not sure of your waistline, just measure your half length from your shoulder to know that you're exactly measuring on your waistline. So divide your waist measurement into 2. Mine is 26, divide by 2 is 13. So now I'm going to mark what I have left. I have about 3.5. So now I'm going to divide that into 2 on my tape, and I'm going to be measuring what I have on both sides, on each side. Now on the blouse length, I'm going to be using my hip measurement. I'm going to divide my hip measurement into 2, and I'm going to mark what I have. Then what is left, I'm going to measure it. I have 3 inches there, and I'm going to be dividing these 3 inches into 2 with my tape, and I'm going to be taking what I have on each side. So the next thing now is to connect these lines together and then stitch them together on my sewing machine. So after sewing it, this is what we have. You can see what our bustier is looking like. It's really so nice. So the next thing now is to fix the sleeve. So this is the outcome of our bustier blouse. Thank you so much for watching. Click on the like button, subscribe to this channel, give your comment. Bye.